Hello. The title for this live video: to enable everyone follow the sequence of the text, is that Trump, Elon, and the other influencers standing by Trump are the effective choice of Group Virtue IDA to fight destruction of the USA and help countries in that way too. Lazy people and stingy people in the USA blame their laziness and stinginess on Trump, including also making fun of Trump and attacking him is also the manipulation of deep state in the USA trying to gain ground over Trump and be re-established again. The same advice to cooperate officially with Group Virtue IDA is given to the other countries too. Many people and organizations are required to listen. To start with, the USA also influences Israel against Palestinians and other countries and international organizations in the world. Group Virtue IDA, the unique international development agency protecting countries and developing them, informs people around the world that it is the group that suggested Trump for president of the USA in a specific context, and that the group informed reliable influencers around the world, verified the choice of those who already decided to vote for Trump, including those that the team of Trump had already notified, that Trump's election would be to the best interest of the USA and the cooperation of the countries around the world towards effective development and restoration. Specifically speaking, what the group did, that is: 1. The USA did not know who to vote for after the end of the presidency of the opposition not elected President Biden and all the deep destruction he and the deep state caused to the USA and the countries and international organizations around the world. It is then that Group Virtue IDA offered to help, since nobody came to the group, and the group as the unique source for also such advice is the only way out, but things were highly critical for the USA and the world, so the group decided to intervene anyway and offer some help. Before going on explaining what the group did, let us give a short example of how bad and deep the destruction was in the USA and the other countries affected, to enable you to make reason of the group's choice of Trump as the president of the USA. Now, Biden and his administration and others before them created such deep destruction in the USA and other countries, and that destruction is so bad that we live in times that God intervenes and helps out, otherwise it would have been totally impossible, even for the best influencer to solve this destruction totally. I remember saying in great sincerity during Santorini earthquake because it is about earthquake and tsunami, including economic destruction. I remember saying, gods, I have so many research and development types to do that I can't do the research and development for this situation too right now. Please help me. Please stop it. For example, signaling Santorini as a starting point, which is the reason I said this, is that the wire placed under the bottom of the sea, allegedly for energy purposes, started causing a nonsensical undersea earthquake that would have caused an unprecedented tsunami. Also, the earthquake was initially estimated at 9 on Richter scale, and actually it was 9.5. And then as things progressed and people would go on with the deep state, applying the deep state and making fun of gods and the influencers trying to apply the positive agenda, it was estimated around 10 points on Richter scale. And the tsunami cannot even be estimated of what would have been. So by now, if that would have happened, 1,500,000 people would have been dead in the USA by a major earthquake and tsunami. 50 million people in Turkey would have been dead by a major earthquake and tsunami. 1 in every 3 countries would have been lost by a major earthquake and tsunami, not of normal lengths and mathematics, because of the wars, plus the fires, plus the wire. That situation, the horrific situation of possible enormous earthquake and tsunami paused. And we knew it was God. Now it again hangs over our head. It is such unpredictable, the possible earthquake and tsunami to take place, that it could even reach same or higher levels of tsunami in Japan in 2011. Some details about it is that on 11th of March 2011, a 9.0 magnitude earthquake off the eastern coast of Japan, the strongest ever recorded in the country, triggered a tsunami up to 30 meters high that washed up to 5 kilometers island. It resulted in a massive loss of life, environmental devastation, and infrastructural damage and other consequences. And this comes from the source UNEP, UN Environment Program, online. Also, regarding the USA, an approaching collapse of USA economy is estimated, as the USA was informed by Trump before he was voted for president, and this is one more reason the group chose him for president of the USA. That he knows how things are and he can do something about it for the USA and the other countries. These things are very possible to happen because of continuously making fun of God, the human of God, that would be group virtue ida, and lately a false oath to God, making fun of God made by an employee who wanted to harm the human of God. We could make some effort to change these things, even though some people might think we are not well in our mind, because they might think it was never meant to happen, what God is going to remove if we make some effort. And they might be thinking allegedly it is something that we came up with. Of course, there were supposed to be a number of ships near Santorini to study the earthquakes, because of the areas also, the surrounding areas affected, but only one went out of about 33 ships, and because they know exactly what I'm telling you here, maybe they know even more. Thus, the situation in the USA caused by Biden and presidents before him is impossible to tackle. And this is what I want to tell you. None could do it. However, one of the niche of group Virtuida is to deal with the impossible. Thus, the group studied possible candidates that they knew of, said that if anyone knows of anyone else, to inform the group, to observe them, and then let the USA people and the international community know about the potential of these people. The name of some people was mentioned, and it was an extremely hard choice to identify the best possible option for the USA, because there was no single best option for the USA because of the deep distraction. Biden and some of the previously not selected but positioned presidents of the USA have been doing for years things that kept creating a chaotic and anarchy situation in the USA and the international community. Then the group thought harder and created the best possible option for the USA, given on the data, and that was Trump, his team, getting patriots active involvement and support, getting the citizens active involvement and support, getting the international community's support, and that under Group Virtue IDA and the international system. That would be the USA would hire Group Virtue IDA, and all the rest of the countries would cooperate with it officially. The group decided this, for example, based on citizens' needs, the country's needs, and the communication and cooperation with the other countries to be restored and developed in healthy ways. That is, Group Virtue IDA decided your best interest, like being your guard, your Minister of National Security, like your Minister of Foreign Affairs, like the Vice President of the USA, like your Minister of the Interior Affairs for developments, and so on, and made this decision public, informed USA Attorney Generals, attorneys, the law people, the local people in Cyprus, Greece, that would be the group's origins, the international influencers, including Russia, that promise they are going to cooperate with any candidate voted for by the USA citizens, which they do. And the group also informed people around the world who helped to inform the USA people about this proposal. The group wants the USA people and people around the world to know that it was a very hard choice to select a possible candidate for the USA. Very hard work, and this is just the beginning of a very hard work. After the successful election of Trump, who was supported by a power team that cared about the USA and worked very hard for his election, the USA and money holders and distributors around the world were supposed to do two must-do things. That is, to keep supporting Trump and the influencers and patriots around Trump, and also hire Group Verjuita and continue working along with Trump, his team, and Group Verjuita harder than before to bring iron results, being aware that the distraction cost in the USA is very complex, complicated, not easy to deal with. It destroys the money internationally in a radical way, and that should very much concern BlackRock, Vanguard, and other financial institutions. Thus, it needs patience, cooperation, and to remember that they should never let anyone get position as president in their country, especially in the case of deep state that appear nice and sweet, but they mean to serve the very worst interest of the country, which is what the USA is dealing with now. Meaning that Trump and the USA fight this distraction caused to the USA and sympathize with what happens to the other countries. It is not easy to get out of this distraction. It is very hard, and it is going to take decades even to start recovering and recovering fully. Also, it is going to take all the rest of the years of the existence of this planet to balance the situation and maintain it on a standard basis. This means that the group have been giving and repeating the basic plan of action for Cyprus, Greece, for the USA, the countries around the world. They should have been heard by now. The solutions exist, so apply them, people. That is why the group said that the ideal thing for the USA to do would be to give a position to the group to work with the USA if the USA wanted to, but definitely the USA was highly suggested and is highly suggested to A. Form an official permanent cooperation with a group Verjuita, or in any other form it might be a name in the years to come, as their guard, keeping the USA safe and developing it through the international achievements and title of the group and family. I repeat, family, the specific family. And B, the USA is highly suggested to pass this formal cooperation of the USA with Group Verjuita and the family as a law in their constitution to implement in the country an indispensable central mechanism of balancing the system, going through the hardships together, keeping the USA safe, and developing it through the international achievements and titles of the group, which empowers the rest of the country and countries. This also verifies that the leadership of the USA is committed to the best interest of the USA. It is also the legacy and the inheritance of this generation to their children. To know they have to be actively involved in the support of the country, to know they have inherited the tools to do it, to be proud of their parents for looking after them and making provisions for them. That keeps throughout their life, and they pass it on to the next generation. It is the legacy left to the next generation, not leaving them alone to fight the battles of the past generations and have good support for their safety and development, their future. This is also the honorable memorial for this generation. The same proposal is made by the group to all countries, international organizations, local organizations, individual and team influencers, locally and internationally, that can form cooperation with the group too. No country should be left out of it. They have the responsibility of supporting their country, the USA, and all citizens around the world of their country. Bring it into a fruitful, balanced cooperation with the other countries and not letting what is going on in their country affecting the international community, and vice versa, not letting what is happening in the international community to damage their country. Thus, despite all best intentions and precautions taken, if anything bad happens in any country or group of countries, the other countries know by cooperating with Group Vergiuida that it did not happen with a light heart. It is better to know that effort was made, and despite that it happened. This verifies that the results are brought through continuous wise thinking, wise decisions, very hard work, correcting mistakes, and so on. 2. Group Vergiuida called for the USA patriots to support Trump, called for other influencers to complete Trump's skills and power with more skills and power to make a strong, power, multi-skills team that would be able to start fighting the destructive situation caused in the USA by the deep state of the globalist governance of the USA in cooperation with the deep state in other countries. Also, the group said that they take the responsibility to monitor and provide support where needed. Thus, the USA should hire Group Vergiuida to do that, and that is how the USA would not have to keep thinking of what Trump and his team do, would not go out in the streets complaining or on mass media unless needed. They would have some good idea of where they're heading to, what they're dealing with. They would have possible solutions, getting involved and cooperating, and so many other good things. This means that the group bridges the gap of leadership and citizens. It means to get support for Trump and his team and support for the citizens. For example, we call in for the patriots and the superpower men, Elon, for example, Elon Musk, Mark Elliott Zuckerberg, and others, and they need their support to function, provide their input effectively in the USA context as proposed by Group Vergiuida, and only this group can do it. Only this highest type of intelligence can do this. They have the support of God, the international system, the citizens. Remember, it is not an easy thing to solve all the destruction caused in the USA. It needs patience, cooperation, and many decades to progress, with even some good restoring, not all of it initially. That goes for the other countries too. We have to do it God's way to help us do the impossible. Therefore, what USA citizens see as mistakes of Trump and his team, and they bully him for this, is actually that the USA and the owners and managers of money around the world did not form the formal cooperation with the group Verjuida, did not do it the group's way, which is what only the group knows to do, which is God's way, for the USA to keep having continuous support. Therefore, the group advises the USA, the owners and managers of money around the world, and the influencers around the world to proceed with the formal cooperation with the group. The group suggests this strongly for all the countries. The USA and the owners and managers of money around the world should have continuously support Trump, and it is God that would bless the effort and make it happen, as it does with other work undertaken by Group Verjuida. Making fun of Trump and accusing him for the mistakes of some citizens and the involvement of deep state trying to take control again is ingratitude towards Trump, towards patriots, towards influencers, towards other countries, towards Group Verjuida, and God, and making fun of God who selected him, Trump, through Group Verjuida. To do all this, the group has asked you, the influencers around the world, to solve the setup custody case 63 /2018. It is proven to be set up. To bring the son of the founder back so she can continuously educate him and he can continuously keep making input in what we do, and the international system to prepare him for his role. The same to apply with the godson of the founder of the group, who is going to be under the guidance always of the son of the founder. The same is going to be needed for the children of the successor and the godson. The next meeting of the setup custody case in the court of law in Larnaca, that should not take place, as it is an unfair hearing according to the laws of the judges, is on the 30th of September in 2025. The group also asked you to cancel the positions and parliament in Cyprus, because Cyprus is legally a part of Greece, to lock the 3 leading positions in Greece: Prime Minister, President of the country, President of the Parliament, and assign them by law in the Constitution to the founder of Group Verjuida and the successor and their generation to come. That is MMPT and the generation to come. Cyprus, Greece function as the central point of objective information, creativity and innovation, as a laboratory of all the countries, the head of which is Group Verjuida, which empowers the other countries, which maintains the independence of the other countries, and makes Cyprus, Greece kind of a part of the other countries and international organizations. The group calls for the influencers around the world to make these things happen for the USA, all countries around the world, Group Verjuida, the founder, the successor, the godson, the country, Greece, Cyprus, and also bring in international organizations, local organizations, individuals, and team influencers to empower them. Group Verjuida is like a powerhouse. The group reminds you that they kindly invite volunteers and sponsorships. The group has to be working on ourselves too, and we are doing it, and we inform you back of what we achieve. Also, I'm letting you know that we are inviting sponsorships, not just for Group Verjuida, the International Development Agency, as a guardian of the countries. Actually, it is part of this. We have other projects too that are necessary, indispensable to each country, and we would like to start them immediately. They also restore the damage of deep state in some areas. For sure, society are gonna make sure they're profitable and they're successful, and for sure only Group Verjuita can do these projects, because many people have been trying to imitate them, and they have started things, projects, trying to imitate Group Verjuita, the founders, but it is impossible, totally impossible. So please let all this being said to you sink in. There are solutions, you're looking at them, Group Verjuita, and we can do it. Just let us work fast. Thank you for listening. You are worthy people. Keep safe and decisively active. Be blessed. Bye.